Hey there guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing the final race of the European Sunday Cup 500. Now you'll see that obviously we are not driving the McGann pace car today. That's because Carl Brennan has been absolutely adamant that we have been underpowered and we've been driving a recommended car which is under the grade of what we've been racing against. It has seemed pretty difficult getting in front of the AMG Mercedes, same one that we bought now, and the A110 Alpine. So those two have been really difficult to beat. So because we had an Alpine in the garage, I went to AMG and bought this one. So that just adds to the collection. We've got one of each now, and Kyle will be driving this stock standard straight off the showroom floor, besides for the livery and the new tires, or not the new tires, but the new wheels that I've got on the car to match the Fanta livery. So we'll take it out there and we'll have a look and see if Kyle is correct, and see if we are or have in fact been driving inferior cars to our competitors. But the proof is in the pudding, and we're about to find out if that is the case. So let's get racing. Hey there guys, welcome to the European Cup 500, the final race in the series, and Carl Brennan is in the AMG Mercedes today, trying to see if we have been given the short end of the stick with other cars that we've been assigned or recommended that we drive. So far looking quite easy, taking over those positions, into 6th already, overtaking the V6 Renault Clio. Oh, slightly wide out there onto the grass. Maybe the handling not that great on this car, but I suppose it's something quite different to what we've been driving so far. But we'll see how Kyle does here. It's been quite difficult for us getting through the field, and those two top positions in the AMG, Hizel in the AMG and Pajadet in the Alpine A110, have been extremely difficult to get up to. Sometimes in testing we didn't even get close to those two drivers, but Carl making easy pickings of everybody up until 3rd position right now. Grady, Lopez, Sanger, Albert and Durant all in the rear view mirror already, and we are not even on lap 2 yet. Carl Brennan really seeming to be taking it quite easy in this. Oh, having to hit the handbrake there. I don't know what happened with his brake lines there, because he's obviously lapsed in concentration for some reason. I'm not sure what the story is there, but I'm sure we'll get all the excuses later on. But the car absolutely flying, 220 kilometers per hour as he crosses the line, and he's now chasing Hizel and Pajadet, the two that we've really been struggling to keep pace with. And at this point he is right on the back of Hizel in the other AMG Mercedes, and that has brought a few questions to my mind, because normally we were seconds behind these guys as we crossed the line. Now we're not even halfway through the race, and Brennan has just taken 2nd position, forcing Hizel wide. He goes wide now in the next turn. Hizel though hasn't got any opportunities to overtake. Whoa, on the limit in the AMG, and now he's chasing Pajadet, just about rubbing the paint off the back of that Alpine A110. Through the first tunnel, right on his rear bumper. Pajadet now staying to the left. Kyle Brennan moves through, and it's an easy overtake on Pajadet in the Alpine A110. That is quite surprising, considering how difficult these cars were just to get up to the back of in the Megane, and that with lots of tweaks and additional equipment and bolted onto the car. This AMG is absolutely standard from the manufacturer, so an easy victory for Kyle Brennan. There's a wild celebration, and you can't blame the guy, but definitely this car seems to be miles ahead, streaks ahead of what we've been racing so far. A great result for Kyle Brennan there. An easy first in the A-Class 45 AMG from 2013. Pagedet in the A110 is second. Hizal in the other AMG is third. Then we have Lopez, Grady, Orbit, Sanger and Durant following in that order. 1.2 seconds ahead of Pagedet, so definitely this car definitely so much better than the Megane pace car. And look at the PP, 12.47 above the recommended race limit, which was 500. So maybe some questions need to be asked before we start racing the next races. Oh my word, it does seem that we have been given the short end of the stick, because that was a victory that was really easy to obtain. So right, so that is great news. We've actually finished the European Sunday Cup 500, 100% done there. Now we'll move on to the next challenges, which is the front engine rear wheel drive challenge 550 in America. No limit to the PP in this one, but well, they say no limit, but there is actually a suggested limit of 550, so we'll stick with that. 537 for the recommended car, which is the Mustang GT 2015. But I think what I'm going to do here, if we'll run into this one, we'll do all of them, because I want to get used to the car that I'm going to be using, because well, I've got an idea. I enjoyed that Mark 1 Mustang that I souped up. Let me just have a look and see if we can, if it can actually compete here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there we go, there we go. 551.15. So 550 is the limit. So right, so we've got the car. Let's just shoot in here quickly. We should be able to customize the car settings. I think I might have I normally buy the power restrictor, which, okay, there we go, let's just have a look. Right, 549.57. okay, so we're in now. Sports softs. Okay, right, what are our rivals? Oh, it looks like we're racing with all the old guys. 78, 78, 70, 71. So this is going to be an old school muscle car race. 550 being the suggested PP, but there is actually, according to this, no limit to the amount of PP that you can run. I'm trying to make it challenging, obviously, so I want to stick with the suggested PP limit as the limit, because that obviously tests my driving skills. Yeah, anyway, let's do this. American FR Challenge 550 at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Really nice weather out there. 3 laps. Let's get racing. And we are a go at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Kyle Brennan in 10th position in the Mark 1. Done a nice livery on that car. He's getting roadblocked now by Anderson and McMahon. It's not going to help him in the long run of this race, but he does eventually get around the outside at the top end of the track. foot down, chasing Senna and Klein, who are a little ways up the track. If you're having a look at that mini-map at the top right there, you'll see the distance between the cars. He is catching rather quickly. This is the quickest of the 3 turns on this track. Down the inside, holding that speed, drifting out to the outside. And it's a clean overtake on Mercado and Klein. The Mach 1 really sounding really aggressive. Deep roar of that V8. Absolutely amazing sound there. Kyle Brennan in 5th position. Solus all the way up in 1st. He's easily taken the last 3 cars, or the 2nd, 3rd and 4th positions. He's driving that Dodge Viper, which is obviously why he's got such an immense advantage here. Much later model car that. Kyle Brennan on the inside of Bader, on the outside of Rubilar in the big Dodge. And now he's chasing Felix in the Camaro. Taking the inside line this time, drifting out all the way to the end, retaining as much speed as possible. Oh, he's hit the wall. A bit of a wall ride there by Kyle Brennan. Didn't seem to lose too much speed though. I suppose that's got to do with the amount of power that's under the hood of this car. Solus up ahead in that Dodge Viper. He's going to be difficult to be... Oh, big hit on the wall by Kyle Brennan. Coming in too quickly. He gets into 1st position, but he's fishtailing it all over the place. Solus right on the back of the Mach 1. He's going to get a charge through here. Solus going back for position number 1. Kyle Brennan on the outside. Solus in the middle. Down the inside, getting the 1st position. Kyle has that outside line. Drops down behind Solus, trying to get a slipstream on that Dodge Viper. Will he get it? He goes right to the outside again. Solus trying to play cautious in the inside line. Kyle scraping that Mustang on the wall. And he gets past. Solus forced back into 2nd position. Kyle Brennan takes the win. What an immense battle between these 2 guys. Only 3 laps, but wow, what a fight. A great one there by Kyle Brennan. Excellent racing there. Besides for a couple of moments where he scraped the side of the car up on the wall, but nonetheless, he's got enough in the hood, or under the hood, to take the win. Solus's Viper coming in 2nd, less than half a second behind. Great race. Very good race by Kyle Brennan. Right, let's move on to the next race in the series. Right, so we'll move on from race number 1 to race number 2, which is WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. 10 grand prize for this one. This is one of the most iconic tracks in the States. Let's get out there and see how Kyle does with this. He is familiar with the track. I don't know how familiar he is with this Mustang Mach 1 though. He does have quite a lot of work to do with the car. Well, I suppose the car is at its PP limit. There's a lot more that we can do with this car. So if we do need to upgrade it for further challenges along the road, we might just do that depending on how he gels with this car. Looking quite good so far, although we have seen it is pretty loose at high speed on those high speed bends. But here we are, America front engine rear wheel drive challenge 550 WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. And here we go. We have a green light at Laguna Seca. Kyle Brennan driving the Mach 1 Ford Mustang. A quick overtake on the Canadian Anderson. And into the first turn. The Mustang does not want to turn. It doesn't want to stop. A little bit of a tail wiggle out there. Lots of power on the back end. I suppose that previous track, we're not going to really get much time and chance to feel the car out. This one got a lot more twists and turns, so the handling of the car will be tested here. Kyle Brennan absolutely making mincemeat of the back end of the field here. Kubo and West in the rear view now, chasing Klein and Bader. Klein on the right side there. I don't think... Oh, Kyle does have the power to get past. Knocking at the door on Bader, who is driving the other Mark 1. Kyle obviously a lot braver through those turns. And up to the corkscrew for the first time. Felix in front, driving the Chevy Camaro. The tail sliding around. Kyle definitely not scared of getting on the power with this car. There he is, fishtailing it again. But he's past Felix. Onto the final turn, onto the start-finish straight, a little bit wide onto the gravel, chasing Rubilar and Solus. Solus seems to be way ahead in that Dodge Viper. Looking at that mini-map, there is a massive amount of space he needs to make up if he wants to win this race. But judging by the lines that he took last time, he's definitely going to have learned from that, and he will be making up a better lap time. He has got the quickest lap time at the moment of 1:46.950, and he is catching up to Rubilar in that massive Dodge very, very quickly. Onto the next turn, the right-hander easily down the inside, right next to Rubilar, door to door, coming up to the next turn. Kyle Brennan got more power and pace, gets through on the brakes through the turn. Having to play with the throttle on this car because obviously there is so much power in the back. Plus it's older technology too, so not very many aids to help you. And wow, absolutely flying through the inside line there. Solus went wide in the Dodge Viper, and unfortunately for him, Kyle Brennan on the better line gets through onto the corkscrew. Kyle a bit wide, slightly off the track there. Solus looking to take that position back. Kyle out wide, Solus down the middle, but Kyle gets a great run out of the turn, cutting that nice and close to the apex. Round the outside, cutting across the track. Oh, on the gravel, he slid it out. Drifting a massive V8 Mustang through the final turn, coming towards the start finish. There's the classic Kyle Brennan victory wiggle. Man, what a race. The car definitely has a definitely does look to be quite difficult to handle, but Kyle getting the better of it. Absolutely fantastic racing there. Ended up 2.22 seconds ahead of Solus in that Dodge Viper. I'm very, very surprised about that. That Viper is an absolute monster. But, well, then we have Rubilar in second in the Dodge Challenger. Felix in the Camaro Z28 fourth. West in the Charger RT 426 hit me in fifth. In sixth is Mortimo in the Mustang GT from 2015. That's a later model car too. I wonder why that's so far down the back of the pack. Bader in the other Mark 1 is seventh, and in 8th position, rounding up the back of the field, is Klein in the GTO Judge. Then the last two cars coming across is Kubo in the Camaro Z28, the yellow one, and Anderson in the Firebird Trans Am, bringing up the rear. 35 seconds behind Kyle Brennan's finishing time. That is a massive defeat for Anderson. Anyway, let's move on. Right, so we'll move on to race number 3. Here we go. This is the final race for today. Actually, we only do 4 at a time, so this is the final race for today. We have come second here before, by the looks of it. Let's get into it. This one is Willow Springs International Speedway, called the Big Willow. So let's get out there and see how Kyle does in the Mark 1 Mustang. The car looking quite stable on the road, despite it only running with sports tyres. If it was running with racing tyres, I think this could be quite an amazing car to drive. Look, obviously there's lots of power upgrades and suspension upgrades and all those kind of things that can be made as well. So possibly a car that we can use later on. But for today we are at the American front engine rear wheel drive challenge 550 at Willow Springs International Raceway, not Speedway, the Big Willow. 2 laps out here, let's get going. And it's go time at the Big Willow. Carl Brennan right at the back of the field, 2 Canadians in front, Joyner and Anderson. Carl Brennan on the charge here on the first turn of the race, gets Anderson really easily in that Pontiac Firebird. Chasing Joyner now. Whoa, a bit of a twitch off the track there, but he gets it back on. No big issues there. Around the outside of Joyner and Ayla at the same time. Carl Brennan now chasing position number 6, Mercado in that old school Chevy. Oh, he's off the track badly up there. Very nearly gets collected by Mercado as he comes back on the track. Very fortunate there wasn't a bad incident there. You can see him now on the inside of the Chevy, taking it really cautious. 2 tires out wide on the dust to make sure he doesn't make contact with the other car. Kudo in front now in the Camaro, the 1968 Camaro. Really cool car there too. But Carl Brennan's Mustang Mark 1 seeming to have the edge here. Kudo gets overtaken really easily. Lights on now, the sun going down. Here comes Carl Brennan on a charge around the bend. And all 4 race leaders battling it out right up front there. Carl Brennan wants you to get up into that pack and battle for that lead. Hopefully we have no more excursions off the track. Oh, a big slide. Retains his speed, retains the composure of the car, and he's made up a lot of ground. Felix is going to have him breathing down his neck any second soon now. There we have it, that Mark 1. Whoa, Felix off the track. Virtually handing over that position to Carl Brennan. And here he comes. Down the inside of Rubilar. He takes the massive Dodge Challenger. And now he's on the back of Solis in the Dodge Viper. Solis got his own battle going on with Kwiatkowski in the Ford Mustang. But now it's the 2 Fords up front. Carl Brennan chasing Kwiatkowski. I'm not sure if Carl's going to have it in the engine compartment to be able to get in front of that later model. Whoa, a big drift there through the corner. Using his drifting skills to gain an advantage here, and here he comes. It's a dead sprint right to the finish. Who takes the win? Carl Brennan slightly in the lead as they cross the line, half a car length in front of Kwiatkowski in the later model Mustang, and Carl Brennan takes the win. What an amazing finish for the Mark 1 Mustang and the Magagua ASR team. There we have it. 0.64 seconds behind. Kwiatkowski taking second. What a race. Solis in the Dodge Viper coming in third this time. Man. Carl Brennan definitely impressing the team here. Man. I think we might have a good thing going with this driver. That's about it for us for today, guys. So thanks for watching. Drive safely. Take care. We'll see you on the track.